America, like many nations, has often been tempted to measure greatness in terms of power and prosperity. It has been praised for its technological advances, its economic strength, and its influence in the world. Yet when it has neglected justice, when it has ignored the cries of the marginalized, it has betrayed its own promise. True success is not the abundance of riches, but the abundance of fairness. And it cannot call itself great when it ignores the dignity of those who are most vulnerable. America's greatest moments have not come from displays of might, but from acts of justice. When it ended slavery, when it expanded civil rights, when it welcomed those once excluded, these were the victories that defined its moral strength. And when it strayed from these values, it failed not only others, but itself. But failure is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of understanding. Every time a nation stumbles, every time a person falls short of their goals, there is an opportunity to pause, reflect, and learn. Failure opens the door to wisdom that success alone cannot teach. Consider the United States, for example. It has faced moments of deep contradiction, proclaiming freedom while tolerating slavery, speaking of equality while denying civil rights, and championing democracy. But it was not a successful nation because its strength rested on the suffering of the majority. Only when apartheid was dismantled and when we began the hard work of reconciliation could we speak of real progress. The same truth applies everywhere. A nation cannot call itself free when people are denied their basic rights. It cannot call itself prosperous when wealth is concentrated in the hands of a few. And again, its people have risen, marching for freedom, demanding equality, rebuilding after loss, and striving to fulfill the promise of democracy. These moments of resilience are the true markers of greatness. But resilience is not automatic. It does not mean simply enduring hardship in silence. It means learning from it, changing because of it, and becoming stronger through it. When a nation makes the same mistake again and again, that is not resilience. It is complacency. Failure is a teacher, not the end. When we look at the story of nations or the journey of individual lives, we see that failure is unavoidable. No country, no leader, and no person has ever walked a path free of mistakes, setbacks, or disappointments. Yet the difference between decline and progress lies not in whether failure happens, but in how we respond to it. Failure is often misunderstood. Many see it as the final chapter, a sign that dreams are broken and hopes must be abandoned. I learned this truth not in moments of comfort, but in years of captivity. Behind prison walls, I discovered that resilience means refusing to let circumstances break your spirit. It means holding on to hope when hope seems impossible. For America, resilience has been both its challenge and its strength. It has endured civil war, economic depression, and social upheaval. At times, it has been brought low by injustice and division. It is not the size of skyscrapers or the strength of markets, but the ability of a society to ensure that every person, black or white, rich or poor, immigrant or native born, can live with dignity and opportunity. Justice is the foundation of lasting peace, and equality is the condition for true freedom. I have witnessed the consequences of a system built on inequality. Apartheid South Africa was powerful in arms, organized in economy, and feared in the world. No nation can truly prosper if its people are divided between those who live in dignity and those who live in despair. A country may build mighty industries, send rockets into space, or command great armies, but if its children go hungry, if its workers are exploited, or if its citizens are denied equal rights, then that nation is not successful. It is simply wealthy in appearance, but poor in spirit, struggling with division. These are failures. Yet through those failures, the nation has been challenged to confront its own conscience, to listen to the voices of the oppressed, and to reform itself. Each setback has carried within it the seeds of renewal. On a personal level, the same truth applies. I, Nelson Mandela, was once called a terrorist. I was locked behind bars for 27 years, separated from my family and my people. Many believed my life was wasted and my struggle defeated. The courage to stand again, even when the weight of defeat feels unbearable. For America and for any nation, the challenge is not to avoid failure at all costs. That is impossible. The challenge is to fail forward, to treat mistakes not as permanent scars, but as stepping stones toward justice, equality, and peace. When a nation learns from its errors, it grows stronger. When its people transform disappointment into determination, they rise together. The measure of a nation, like the measure of a person, is not whether it falls, but whether it rises after the fall. Greatness does not come from perfection, for no human being or society is perfect. It comes from resilience, the determination to endure hardship, to recover from mistakes, and to continue striving for a better tomorrow. Resilience is born in struggle. It is forged in the fires of disappointment, and it grows in the soil of sacrifice. Therefore, we must not fear failure. We must embrace it as part of the long road to progress. For the greatness of a nation is not measured by its wealth or its armies, but by its ability to confront its shortcomings with honesty, to rise from them with courage, and to build a better future from the lessons learned. Failure is not the end. It is the beginning of wisdom, the birth of resilience, and the seed of true greatness. Yet prison became my university. In the silence of confinement, I learned patience, discipline, and the power of hope. That failure, which seemed like an ending, prepared me for the responsibilities of leadership when freedom finally arrived. Failure teaches humility. It reminds even the strongest nations and the proudest leaders that they are not invincible. It teaches empathy, because those who have suffered setbacks can better understand the pain of others. And it teaches resilience,